everywhere paused few hours ago amidst the ongoing protest issue and all. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in serious trouble as at the time that they said they want to conduct the protest from August 1 to August 10, and they have been doing everything possible to stop the protest, but that the GOs have finally come out to bust out, and they have finally come out to scatter the issue on Tinubu now. They've been saying right from time that Nigeria need prayer, but now they say Nigeria they don't need prayer again, that they're tired of praying for Nigeria now. Khan and that the GO are finally bust out in troops. So the protest is no more a one-man protest again. It's now a general protest and all. Now you will hear from Khan themselves. You will hear what they said regarding Bola Ahmed Tinubu and regarding the protest. You will be shocked alive. It will shock alive you. You will shed tears for Tinubu. So I'd like us to stay connected to the end of this video. You can share the video. Just do where to share it. Share to different social media platform. Nigeria is bleeding right now, and if you can share it, just like it as you're watching it. Like it, give it a thumb up so that will be a comment for us. Just stay connected. I'm coming back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG Watch TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG Watch TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, ensure you click the red subscription button appearing on your video screen, and at the same time click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let it know. A lot of trouble is coming to Bola Ahmed Tinubu now. Tinubu is already crying out for help, and a lot of Nigerians are now saying that the time that they be crying out for help for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he should do something regarding the economic situation, he should do something regarding the inflation, he should do something regarding the high in price of commodity of goods in market and all. They said the time they be crying for him, they said he never responded. In fact, he actually mocked them. They said now they bring it trouble to him from August 1 protest to August 10. They said Tinubu is now crying out and looking for every possible way to appease them. Tinubu is looking for every possible way to ensure that he stop the protest and the protest will not hold. And mind you, Tinubu is the grandfather of protest as far as Nigeria is concerned. He actually protested in the regime of Goodluck Jonathan, but a lot of people actually saying that the protest that Tinubu made in the regime of Goodluck was a political protest, and now that's not even where we're going to. Now the DEJIs are finally boss out. The DEJIs, whether we like it or not, they are one of the problem of Nigeria, and they are one of the people that is making it easy for Nigerian politicians to be perpetrating their shenanigans as far as Nigeria is concerned. If not for the DEJIs, Nigerians would have stood up in time past against the government rascalities and against all the nonsense that they're doing in the political zone and all. But when the hardship is much, Tinubu will invite Adeboye to his office and all, and after all they will collide, and Adeboye will come out and say that Nigeria need prayer. But now a lot of people actually said, they said it will get to 11, this Nigeria need prayer, pray for Nigeria, let's pray for Nigeria, let's pray for our leaders. It will get to 11, the hunger will get to 11, the people will be tired of the prayer, the people will say no to prayer, and even the DEJIs themselves that are praying for Nigeria 247, it will get to them. As it got to Dangote, it actually get to them now. The suffering have gotten to the footsteps of the DEJIs. Now they finally bust out. They said no, Tinubu cannot continue this rascality. This thing that is happening in Nigeria cannot continue. This insecurity, this food issue, there's no food in market for people to buy. People cannot afford what is in the market. People cannot afford 1 square meter in their houses. Now it have gotten to the DEJIs the way it got to Dangote a few days ago. Now they finally bust out. Now the youth are not leading the protest again. It is now the big names now that are leading the protest. You will hear from them. You hear from Khan themselves. You will hear what they say. It will shock the lives. So like I said, to connect to the end of this video. If you can share this video, just do it to share it. Click the share button. Share to different social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like it as you're watching it. Like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. Since when the DEJIs have been coming out in time past and be saying that Nigeria needs prayer, Nigeria needs prayer, our leaders need our prayer and all. Now we go come down. That's the question that Nigerians are actually asking now. We go come down to come and teach our leaders their responsibilities. People that were elected there to do a particular task, we go come down to come and force their hand to do the task. These people are in office, they fail to do their task, and some people are saying that they need our prayer. What do they need our prayer for? Those are the questions that Nigerians are asking the GOs now. These people do not need their prayer, they need our demonstrations, and a peaceful demonstration is part of our fundamental human rights since we're practicing democracy as far as Nigeria is concerned. That's what a lot of Nigerians are actually say now. They said enough is enough to all this prayer thing and all. And even the daddy Jews, the suffering have finally gotten to their doorstep, and they shouting on that Tinubu is not worth our prayers in Nigeria, that they tired of praying to God and all. They said enough is enough to all these rascalities, that the people deserves a better life. You know, there are some people that if their daddy Jew did not put force out that he wants to join the protest, they will never join the protest. It is what their daddy Jew do, that is what they do. If daddy Jew did not say that, oh, I'm going to join the protest, they're not going to join the protest. They prefer the suffering to just finish them. They will think that they're suffering from God, and they think that they're suffering for God and all. That's what is happening. But now that the Jews are finally kicked off, and you will hear show in this very video, you will see the secret of everything that is happening in Nigeria, and the orchestrator of all this evil, the 419 pastors and all, and the 419 politicians. You will hear everything in this very video. So I'd like us to stay connected to the end of the video. If you can share the video, just do it to share it as you're watching it. Tinubu is now doing everything possible to summon the traditional rulers to talk to their people and all, and summoning the religious leader to ensure that they talk to their church member, because they control a lot of crowds in Nigeria. They want to do everything possible to organize our leaders in different ethnicity and different religious aspects of Nigeria and different tribes and all. They want to summon all of them and ensure that they stop the protest. Why are they scared of the protest? The protest is a peaceful protest according to the way it is called. Why are they scared of the protest? Now stay connected to the end of this video. You will hear from our religious stars and all, and you will hear from REUBEN, ABATTI and RUFAI saying, just stay connected. I'm coming back again.
And in spite of pleas from the president, from the lawmakers, from traditional rulers and what have you, they're still going ahead with the protest.
Of course, protest continues. You cannot pull out of a protest that you did not organize, that you were not invited to join.
Right.
And these are just hungry people who are being paid by the government to come on air and embarrass themselves and their families. You know, so nobody's Nigerians.
What makes you think they are being paid by government?
Of course, the government is sharing billions. I've been sharing billions in the last 3 weeks to different groups, religious people, and all kinds of people, trying to get people to frustrate their protest. But you're going to see what's going to happen all over the country on the 1st of August. The government is going to learn a bitter lesson about taking the people of Nigeria for granted.
Now that exactly is what the government is concerned about, and those who are dissociating themselves from this protest. When you say the government will see what will happen on the 1st of August, what exactly will happen? I mean, Nigerians are expecting a peaceful.
It's going to be
extremely.
It's going to be extremely peaceful.
Right.
Extremely. You know, Nigerians are going to express themselves in line with Section 40 of the Constitution, that Nigerians have the right to assemble, to gather, and to express their grievances at government at all levels. You know, and this is an inalienable right of every citizen of this country. The government cannot tell people when to protest, or how to protest, or how to complain about maladministration of the government, especially considering the fact that this president today was a perpetual protester. He's a man that has funded protests against government. He has always been in the opposition funding protests against government. Yeah. You know, and basically, because he has been doing it, I don't know how someone who has been funding protests no longer wants protests when he's now in the saddle of leadership. And because karma is the universal donor, you know, it must go round, because you funded protests against the Jonathan government in 2012 when over subsidy removal. Today you have removed subsidy, and today you do not want Nigerians to protest, and they've been calling groups for the past 3 weeks to the villa, to all kinds of places, to ministries, to give them money to go and be organizing town hall meetings.
Has
and all these things.
Has your group been invited?
Severally, we have. Severally.
Right.
We have declined. We have spoken to some people in government, and we have told them, we said, if you want this protest not to hold, remove fuel subsidy. Okay. Bring back fresh subsidy. If you want this protest not to hold, do ABC, things that will improve the life of people, not collect money, collect dollar from people in government, and you go on television and start embarrassing yourself.
All right, Beluchukwu, I mean, we saw you in one of the reports there, distancing yourself from the protest. Is it that this hunger, the biting hunger, the hardship, does not affect you? I mean, you're of the youth wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria. Are you not impacted by the overall, you know, downturn in the economy? And don't you empathize or sympathize with what those who are calling for protest are saying?
Good. Thank you so much. We know that CAN is a non-political organization, right, and we are not answerable to anybody. We are independent, and the press conference we granted today, we draw inspiration and clue from our parent body. You will see that the CAN president and everybody, we said we can explore other options to address this issue of protest, like dialogue, town hall meetings, etc. Because we believe that let's take a clue from the NSAS protest, right, where hoodlums hijacked the process and the protest, and it becomes a means of looting and the destruction of lives and properties. A lot of youth lost their lives, a lot of people, businesses collapsed because of the protest. Now, we are not saying that there is no hunger in the land. We are not saying that people are not suffering. We are not saying that government is not doing anything. But we know that if we channel our energy to a productive and a very viable avenue, what are the viable avenue that we need to? Let's engage the government. Let's call for a round table. Let's call the government. Let's call the president, the minister, everybody. Let's call the youth of the country need to come out and say, sir, let's articulate our point one after the other. This is point A, this is point B, this is point C, this is point D, up to Z. And we can be able to tell the government that, please, sir, or the people at the helm of affairs, the president, the vice president, the ministers, the senate president, we can articulate all these things and submit to the National Assembly, submit to the president, submit to the...
yeah, but those who insist on going ahead with the protest, they are saying that the president or the government seems to be, not non-committal, quite aloof in terms of really engaging not just the youth, but Nigerians as a whole.
It's a lie. It's a lie. Let me not say this. Right. I'm not for or against. Right. Let me not tell you this, that if we engage the government, okay, let's take for example, before this protest or whatever, I'm calling that there should be no protest because it will lead to loss of lives and properties. Let us engage the government and say, okay, Mr. President, the youth of this nation want to see you on Tuesday or Monday. We are calling on you, come and address us. Let's bring representatives from all the states, from all the civil society organizations, from every angle, both religious groups. Let us see if the president will not listen to us. I know the president...
What are you waiting for to call for that?
No, today we articulated our point.
I would also like you to quickly respond to what DEJI said, that this government is spending billions of naira to induce people, groups like yourself, to pull out or distance yourself from the protest.
Thank God that Christianization of Nigeria cannot even think of it that we are going to collect money from who? Who is going to give us money? Who is going to give CAN money? CAN will not do that. Right. But now, let me just say this. Nobody gave youth wing of CAN money or CAN to pull out of protest. We have never been involved in protest, and we can never protest. What we will do is we will pray to God and commit our protest to God. Okay. God, please, this is what we need in the country. We believe in prayers, and I believe God answers prayers. If we come, that is it.
And Nigerians are tired. Are there no other means of engaging government outside of protest that may lead to chaos, anarchy? That's what the security operatives are saying.
Yeah, you see, Nigerians are tired of prayers for things that leaders are elected to do. Why don't you pray before? Why don't you be praying instead of going to the toilet to ease yourself and be saying God should come and help you ease yourself? Things that God has given you the capacity, the power. It's only in Nigeria. Nigeria is a world headquarters of fake pastors and 419s who stay on the pulpit and deceive people. A country where leaders are elected to do a job, they don't do it. Religious leaders will be telling you to pray for them. So you think God is that jobless to come and be helping your leaders to fix the country? So these are the people who they enable bad leadership and bad governance in this country. Why are Nigerians protesting? Very simple. Yeah. It's because there's massive hunger, disillusionment and discontentment in the country. That's the reason why Nigerians are protesting. This president, you say you want to dialogue with a president, Nigerians should come and sit on the round table with a president that on Wednesday, this same president on Wednesday, he sent an executive bill to the National Assembly The National Assembly did accelerated hearing to extend the tenure of the IG in 1 day. And they even made mistakes in the amendment. They amended the sections that they amended was wrong. And he did that just for nepotistic reasons. That's the reason why he did that. He did not send an accelerated bill to the National Assembly to end the suffering of Nigerians.
What makes you feel it has nepotistic?
The man is Yoruba.
Undertones.
The man is Yoruba.
But that's a whole different conversation.
You see, the truth is very bitter.
I guess what you're saying
the truth is bitter. The truth is bitter, but somebody has to say the truth. This man is supposed to retire in a month or so. You are trying to extend his tenure. These are part of the reasons why Nigerians are protesting. When Buhari was here, carrying out nepotistic tendencies, we all condemned him.
But you know the Constitution allows him to do.
This man has come. This man has come. And he's doing worse than what Buhari did. Almost everybody, every key person in any government, parastate or agency, the key positions are apportioned for Yoruba people. That is even by the way. Yes, it's not part of the discussion. But it is part of the demands. It is part of the reasons, the reasons fueling the protest, because there's inequality, there's nepotism in government and around government, and the body language of the government supports that. People are not being carried along in the country. Now,
speaking of being carried along, the president says, look, I hear you. I feel your pain. It's only been a year plus, you know, that I've been in the saddle. Give me more time. Give me patience. I've put in some policies, increased minimum wage to 70,000 naira from 30,000 naira. Student loans, you know, the ball's been set rolling on that. Palliatives, Nigeria Youth Investment Fund. He also promises to, you know, give or come up with more inclusive government.
Yes, as it may sound or it may look, this government is not the reason why Nigeria is in this much of a mess. Because the Buhari government did a lot of damage to this country in 8 years. However, this government in 1 year has done more damage to the Nigerian economy than Buhari did in 8 years. And I will explain very briefly. When this government came, it made dollar at around 600 naira. It made dollar at around 600 naira. Today, dollar is almost about 1.6. When this government came, this government met a basket of tomato at 15,000. Today, a basket of tomato is above 100,000. When this government came, it met rice around 50-something to 60,000.
A bag, 50 kg bag.
Yes,
right.
Now it's almost about 100,000. When this government came, a sack of beans was around 28,000 to 30,000, depending on where you buy from. Today is about 75,000. When this government came, a sack of flour was around 18 to 20,000 naira. Today is about 68,000. When this government came, it moved a carton of noodles from 4.5.
Yeah, we could spend all night reeling out all of that.
The list is endless. This is why Nigerians are protesting. Nigerians are protesting because all is not well with the country. And you cannot tell Nigerians that, oh, this is how you should protest. It's very simple. Today, what are the issues? We are battling with hyperinflation.
Right.
And we are battling with a situation where 100,000 is now the new 10,000 naira. Go to many parts of this country today. People cannot even afford 1 square meal. We're not talking about 3 square meals. People are eating grass in many parts of northern Nigeria. Grass. And it's same situation in southern Nigeria. So Nigerians want to express themselves. And government is saying Nigerians cannot express themselves. No,
government, I doubt very much if government is saying that. I'm not a mouthpiece for the government. Government is saying Nigerians are constitutionally allowed to, you know, express themselves, vent or ventilate if you like. But going the way of violence, causing chaos, anarchy is what government will not stand.
Have you seen any Nigerian calling for violent protest? Since the beginning of this protest?
Okay, I'll come back to you. Let me, you know, Bello Chukwu, I mean, your Bello Chukwu. Yeah.
Very important, sir. Thank you.
You said your way or your route is to pray, you know, hand over the issues to God. Beyond that, as Christian Association of Nigeria, the Youth Wing, are you engaging the Nigerian youth, whether in your churches or in society as a whole, you know, to, you know, maybe give them some hope or some reasons why they should not go on a protest? Is that engagement going on at all?
Sure. We have been engaging our youths.
What are you telling them?
Yes, very important.
we have been engaging our youth on peace building. That's number one. Number two, and we have been engaging our youth to be law-abiding. We had a NEC meeting today, being 26th of July, and all the state chairmen, church denomination blocks, the 5 blocks of Can, they were all represented, and we passed our message to them, message of peace, message of nation building, because we believe that if there is peace, the nation will prosper. If there is oneness, the nation will move faster. But if we have chaos and if we have protest, we are not saying protest is not a civic right of the citizens, but if we can channel our energies on things that will grow the country, I think we'll be better off. Today we passed our message to our leaders, all the state chairmen, zonal coordinators, as well as block leaders. Please go to your various states, go to your various local government, go to your various community leaders. Please let them know that today we are saying no, we are not going to be part of any protest. Let us sue for peace. Let us call for oneness in Nigeria. Let us call for the unity of Nigeria, not disintegration. Because let me tell you this, if Nigerians protest, there is 101% that the hoodlums will hijack the process. It happened in NSAS. I know one of my uncle who lost the business because of NSAS protest. Yeah. A lot has been done, and we don't need to repeat such mistake again. If we must learn from the past, and we should not repeat such. When let me say this. When we say that, if you respect leaders, leadership will get to you. We don't call our president and our leaders. That the philosophy behind? Yes, no, not that. I just want to respond to what he said. Right. Calling our leaders nepotic and this and that. That's not the right word we use for our leaders. I say that we can continue to pray for our leaders, we can continue to engage them, we will continue to pray for them for the betterment of all Nigerians and for the growth of our country. That is the best way, and the best way we can do something, and it will be productive for us.
The IG of police, I mean, you talked about him earlier. He's saying, look, if you're going to go on protest, submit your details, your name, your address, and all of that. Why? Because they have intel that there's some foreign elements and people who want to destabilize the country, use the opportunity of the protest to destabilize the country. Would you be willing to submit your details, and what do you make of that point coming from the IG?
Has my detail, so why do I need to submit a detail that he already has? Okay. Every security agency in Nigeria, SSS, Army, they have my detail. I'm their regular customer, so why do I need to submit any
well, maybe not just your personal details, but details of those who want to protest.
See, it shows a complete failure of intelligence in the country. It's even an indictment on the security agencies that they're asking for detail. So where is intelligence gathering? So all of a sudden they have intel about protests. But all the banditry in Zamfara, all the terrorism in the northeast, northwest, and all over the country, all the kidnappings of school children, they don't have intel. And this is why you cannot engage this kind of government. Wait, imagine somebody proposing that you should engage this kind of government. Engage them to do what? So that you collect money? You cannot engage an unreasonable government. A government that disrespects. The APC governor said they don't even know why Nigerians are protesting all this way with the country. That's the kind of government you want to engage? After they made the president, that was what Zodima was saying. Wike was saying that it's mischief makers that are behind the protest.
Yeah, he's even saying that there will not be any protest in
who is yes and Wike? Who is yes and Wike to tell citizens that there will be no protest? Does this place look like his father's house? Does the FCT look like a local government? So what we are saying principally and basically is that these leaders have no regard for the Nigerian people. And it's still better. The August 1st to 10th protest is still better for them. See, the real protest will not be announced. No date to be given. See, if this protest, whether this protest happen or it does not happen, we're only postponing the evil day. Okay, there's going to be a protest that will happen in this country that is suddenly, and all these people will become victims. All these people threatening Nigerians, all these APC governors threatening Nigerians and telling Nigerians that Nigerians don't have the right to protest in their own country. they will become victims because that particular protest will not be announced.
Well, they're not saying,
and it's a protest of hunger.
We need to underscore that. They're not saying Nigerians don't have the right to protest. Does this have some kind of political undertone, this protests? Are protesters being sponsored? Is it because that seems to be what it's looking like to the authorities? You see, the opposition, the current opposition today, as presently constituted, is even dead. They are dead. So they don't even have the capacity to be an opposition. So is it such a useless opposition like the PDP and the Labour Party that will sponsor a protest? The opposition is in complete disarray. Complete disarray. So what I don't understand with this country is that we look at the truth. People are seeing people suffering. Nobody hates this government today like market women. How can, in a nation of 200 and something million people, how can few people have this number of age? I was in Lagos last weekend. I saw the convoy of the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and I said, this country, there's going to, one day we'll just wake up and we will see the entire people of this country reacting, because it's even hopefully not violently.
Not hopefully. Hopefully, that's our prayer.
People can
our prayer
have to react violently.
Our prayer perpetually is for, because nobody will benefit if anything goes wrong in this country.
Absolutely.
And we will continue to appeal to Nigerians that this protest should be peaceful.
Great.
Nigerians should love their country. We appeal to government that are recruiting thugs, that they should recruit peaceful thugs.
I condemn totally any attempt of violent protest. But I also condemn any attempt to stop people from hearing their voice, to speak their mind. I think it was Voltaire that said very prominently, I might disagree with you totally, but I will never stop you the chance for speaking your mind. The truth is, let's not deceive ourselves. If they say protests have political slant, one of their APC governors, Governor Fayemi, recently came out to say that in 2012, the reason why they protested was because of politics. There's always been political connotation to protest in this country, except we want to deceive ourselves. Dr. Abati seated here. The economic indicators were very good under Jonathan, better than this. The protest was because of politics. I am not for politics, but the greater problem is the hunger, which he has not addressed, which we are saying he should address. He said he's giving student loan. In a country where people can hardly get jobs, you are giving student loan. Do you know the debts that will come out of the student loan?
I've always been for
even in America, that you have a better economy. Do you know how many times Joe Biden has said they should clear student loan debts? He said they are going to give people money to buy cars and homes. You will incur more debts. Do you know how much debts cash apps have destroyed Nigerian people?
The government is not saying do not protest. You can protest. It's your right under Section 39. But the government is saying that no responsible government will fold its arms if people want to cause mayhem. All the security agencies have spoken in unison that they are prepared and that they will not allow a situation where anybody imposes anarchy on Nigeria. Now, the military headquarters, some people say they cannot join. I said, look, the military can be called in the aid of civil authority under Section 217 sub 2C of the 1999 Constitution, so it's within their rights. What I do not understand, however, is that the military headquarters, defense headquarters, is saying they know the unscrupulous elements. DSS says that there are some people who have been planning and they are tracking them. The police say they too are ready. Why is it that nobody has been arrested? Why is the state, a responsible state, having identified people who want to cause problems, will not fold his arms? We should hear that some people have been arrested because they want to cause problems. And then, of course, they too will have the right to defend their rights. President Tinubu says some of the people are people who have alternative passports, who are from other areas. We need no more information. Who are those people? We should be told who those people are. So traditional rulers are against it. APC governors say they don't want problem. State governments that are not even APC are saying, well, we want peace in this country. The big point that President Tinubu made is not about the fact that he was involved in the protest, it was peaceful, but that any form of protest, Kenya style, Uganda style, Tunisia style, Bangladeshi style, is going to even affect the masses of the people.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can hear what those two guys said in that very video. You know, the first guy was a guy from Cannes. He came to represent Cannes in a live television program, and the second one was the ADEYANJU. Oh, you know, that one is a very popular lawyer and a very popular activist. You know, the thing that the two of them said in that very interview, you know, it is very obvious that Nigerian Christendom have turned to a begging door and all of that. You know, it is very absurd that Nigerian Christendom cannot stand up for the truth. You can hear what that guy was actually saying in that very video. You know, in all the countries of the world that we know, in countries like United States and countries and even some African countries, they stand for their country. Until we stand for our country in Nigeria, nothing will work in this country. The problem we're having is not only limited to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it is all sector. No sector in Nigeria is working. The armed forces, the immigration, the DSS, the ESS and all, no sector is working. The judicial sector is collapsed. Even the executive sector, corruption is swimming as if they're swimming in a big pool, and a lot of things is going on in every aspect and every sector. Now the people are saying that enough is enough, that they want to articulate their feeling, they want to express their motives to the government, what is suffering them, the kind of challenges that they've seen in the vicinity and in the society. They want to articulate their feeling to the government in a peaceful protest. And mind you, peaceful protest is one of the fundamental human rights as far as democracy is concerned in any democratic country. But in Nigeria, they see peaceful protest as something else. Nobody is in support of rioting protest. You know, DSS have been saying it right from time. They said they know the people that are trying to instigate the protest, that they want to hijack the protest and all. They want to do this, they want to do that, they want to turn into a violence. Yes, since you guys know the people, just go and pick them, select them, bring them out, bring them to book, put them in jail and all, lock them up. Let the peaceful protesters, let them protest and let them articulate their feeling to their government. That's what we're demanding in Nigeria. And as if that is not enough, a lot of people are actually coming out. Different political people are actually coming out, trying to do everything possible to just suppress the protest. Now you can see what the Cannes representative was actually saying. What he was saying in this very video is total off. A lot of people have been swearing for him. People that have seen the video, they be swearing for him and all, because they said they need prayer. If you should look at what he said he's not in support of protest. Yes, you are not in support of protest, but you're telling the people to come together to pray for Nigeria. What nonsense prayer did Nigeria need? The prayer that they be praying for Nigeria in the days of our forefathers. Why is it that the prayer is not working? If you are doing something and the thing is not working, are you not going to be ashamed of yourself and just stop the shit one day? That's what is happening. They be praying for Nigeria since the days of our forefathers. Even before they give birth to us, they've been praying for Nigeria, but yet nothing is working. And some other countries, they are praying less, but what they do is they take action. They stand for their country. When their government is marching line, they will step out, they will troop out in mass, they will agitate, they will make peaceful protests. It is not like the Kenya protest, the rioting protest that is ongoing in Kenya. That's not what we're talking about. We are not competing with Kenya. We are not kind of useless riotic set of people. Nigerians are peaceful people, and what they want to do is a peaceful protest. Now, a lot of countries like US stood for their country. A lot of countries stood for their country. That's why the country is working today. That's why a lot of Nigerians jump into different countries that are well developed like UK, US, Canada and all. Those countries stood for their country. They came out in mass, they spoke for their country. But Nigeria, whenever it is time for Nigerians to come out in troops to speak for their country, their pastors will be used against them. Some political elite, the presidency and all alleged, we call the pastors in a closed-door meeting, and they will make a meeting and they will come up with a conclusion. And that is when you will see Adeboye stepping out of the presidential villa and addressing the press that Nigeria actually need prayer, that it is not the leaders that is a problem, that Nigeria need prayer, that there's some demonic forces that are in charge of Nigeria. You can see that that's the same thing that this guy was actually trying to say, this Cannes guy in Arise TV here. That was what he was trying to say in that very place, and the ADEYANJU was panting him and giving him back to back. in that very place. You know, he was trying to do the same thing that Adeboye had been doing, coming out from the presidential villa, telling Nigerians that it is prayer that we need. Is it prayer that we need to stop all the corruption that is happening in Nigeria? If a politician wants to steal the public fund, is it prayer that will stop the politician from stealing the public fund and all? That's not what we say in Nigeria. What we need is action. For this guy to come out and say that there's no need for protest and all, yes, I'm not saying that there's need for protest, and I'm not saying that there's no need for protest, but for this kind guy to come out and make it known to the general public that it is best for Tinubu to just gather some leaders and all and put them on a round table, and they will articulate their feeling on behalf of their people, and Tinubu will attend to everything. Are you sure this government in power? Are you sure they even have time, or are you sure they will even give you the chance to sit down in a closed door meeting or on a round table with them and submit your agitations or the agitations of your people? They never do that. They never want to do that. That was what the ADEYANJU was actually saying in that very place. They are not ready for all those kind of dialogue. For this guy to be saying that they actually need to select leaders from different ethnic group or different groups, and they will go to hold a meeting with Tinubu and all, and they will agitate and they will articulate what their people actually want. I'm telling you, and the fact remains the fact. If that thing should happen, the end result is that the presidency or the government will distribute a brown envelope for them, and they will come out with the brown envelope to their people. And once they come out with the brown envelope, there are people we don't even know that they collected envelope. That's what have been happening before now. There are people that they went to represent when they went to agitate their feelings to the government and all. There are people that send them we don't know that they collected envelope. That's what have been happening. It's even happening in the Christendom, where we claim that we're serving Jesus. They go to meetings to collect brown envelope when they're supposed to go and articulate the feeling of their people to the government. They collect brown envelope, and at the end of the day, the whole issue will die down, and the people will continue in their hardship, poverty, and suffering. That's what is happening now. The people are saying enough is enough. They don't want all those kind of rascality to continue in their own country. In their own country, they said they don't want that. Now, is there a crime in saying that we don't want suffering again in Nigeria? That's what is happening. According to what RUFAI was saying in this very place, it made it not to the general public that it will be a big offense for the government not to allow the people to say their mind, and it is the fundamental right of the people to come out to say their mind regarding what is happening in Nigeria. Enough is enough for the insecurity. Enough is enough for the economic downfall. Enough is enough for everything, the inflation that is ongoing in Nigeria. People cannot afford to eat 2 square meals in their house. Even a square meal, you can't afford it in Nigeria again. The cost of living of Nigeria is just like the cost of living of UK and US, and yet the money is not there. The money is not out there, and the works and the jobs are not out there. Students are falling out of school. They can't afford to pay tuition fee in their countries again, and that is what is happening. Now tell me, how is there not going to be a lot of criminals in the society when people that are supposed to be in school, they dropped out and they don't have any means of survival, and the wealth of Nigeria is supposed to be going random and supposed to be going on a uniform motion is now being targeted to some particular set of people, and those ones are growing richer. They're becoming more richer. Why? They keep a lot of poor people in higher poverty so that their children can serve their children again. That's what Nigerian politicians are actually doing. Not all. There are some politicians that are cool and okay and they are doing their work diligently, but a lot of them, a big number of them, the criminals, according to what Undume said. You know, Senator Undume came out a few days ago. He made it known to the general public that Nigerian politicians are kleptocrats, and he got a lot of politicians talking in the House of Assembly. He called them kleptocrats, meaning that they steal what they did not even need. That's the function of a kleptocrat. Even a thief is better than a kleptocrat. That's what is happening. That's what Nigerian politicians are at the moment. Now tell me, how will the country works with prayer? Drop your opinion in the comment section of this video regarding the August 1 protest and all. Our advice for everyone is everybody should stay calm, and it must be a peaceful protest as is stated. It must not be a riotic protest so that the economy of Nigeria will not suffer for it. Drop your opinion in the comment section on this video. So I'm gonna let that for you. And share, follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. Bye for now.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor with the line on top, he pastor. For LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor with the back, where politician with the do pass himself. Corrupt leader, all the while you waiting for church. All as LAJUPOG Watch TV.